Hi folks, thanks as always for joining me and for your support, very much appreciated. Today I've got a little riverside scene, a few reflections here from these trees all in shadow banks here in the foreground, a few rocks scraped in amongst them all. So the colours, we've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. Got the large Ron Ranson hake, little flat brush there, and a couple of little rigger brushes. This is my latest book, Watercolour Painting Made Simple Volume 3. Got 9 paintings in there. Simple step-by-step photographic guide, just to guide you through each painting. Try to make it as simple as I could. So that's available on Amazon. So let's kick this off with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to go raw sienna, bit of blue, I'm going to take a bit of Payne's grey, bit of a alizarin crimson as well, a bit of blue, just brush that in like that. Then the bottom, just create a sort of light area down the middle, so it looks like there's light coming off the top of the water. Then back into that blue, a little bit more in the sky. Just catch the bottom of this water. All down there. A little bit more definition. Some little clouds. Right then, now stick the distant trees and bushes in. So there's not much detail at this sort of distance because we're absolutely miles away. So I'm just using the same sky colours. Keeping it sort of parallel with the bottom of the paper. Just a little dab of raw sienna in there, bit of blue, bit of the others. Right, just soak that water up at the bottom. Fill the corners in. Right then, now in front of that, we've got a little bit of grass I can see in the distance, so clean the brush into the raw sienna, a little bit of lemon yellow as well in there. Lots of raw sienna. I'm just levelling that out, something like that. Just see a little bit over there as well. And then in front of there, I'm just going straight into some light red. Bit of ultramarine. Right in. So that's the most distant land there is. So I'm cleaning the brush again. I'm going to give it a quick dry. Get the paper flat again, pull it tight against the board, re-clip it, and then I've got a flat surface to work with again. Right, and so we're moving on to, it's like a little island or something. So I'm going to take a bit of raw sienna, a bit of lemon yellow. I'm going to start somewhere down here. I need to differentiate that from that background, so I'm going into that ultramarine. Bit of green, Payne's grey, really dark green this is. We've got a big dark tree there. Into that red. Let's clean the brush. Gone a little bit off with the colours. Back into that raw sienna. What I did forget to do, I've got to put the reflections in, don't I? Let's pop in those reflections while I'm doing it. Let's get into that raw red again. Few bushes over there. Pull down the reflection at the same time. I want to get back to a lighter colour, so I'm going to clean the brush. Take the excess off on the tea towel, back into a bit of lemon yellow. Brush that across. Going over there like that. A few things growing on that side as well. Back into the lemon yellow. I think it's nearly time for the rigger brush to make an appearance. So I'm going to switch to the number 3 rigger. Plenty of water, bit of yellow, bit of blue, bit of brown. Let's start popping some trees in, and they're going to come in somewhere like that. They're going right at the top. A bit thicker, a little bit darker as well. Pop down the reflection at the same time. Let's pop another big one next to him. I'll put the branches and things on in a sec. Just make that base a little bit wider. A bit more brown, a bit more blue. Want it a little bit darker, so its silhouette's a bit better against the sky. It's a little bit better. And then once most of the paint's off, then get to town with all these twigs and things that are growing. One or two a bit lower down on the trunk, most of it up the top. Don't forget the reflection. That one, that one. I'm going to stick another one over here, a little bit smaller this one. A little bit wider at the base. Put that reflection down. I'll put a little bit of foliage on these in a minute. I might just do it now actually, it's just... a little bit of raw sienna just dotted about. Ultramarine adds too much. Let's just get a bit more of a dry brush, I think. So I'm just squeezing the water out, and I'm taking the rest out on the tea towel, then I'm scuffing it up like that. Just so all the dry hairs and the hairs also all over the place. So I've got nice random shapes when I go like that. Bit of yellow on there as well. Just get a little bit of variation. Just got a touch of red as well. Right, just want one or two more trunks on this little bit of land. So I'm having another one. I'll stick another one down here, I think. Put that reflection down as well. Up all the little twigs and things coming off. A few reflections. I want that just a little bit darker. A little bit dark, so it just silhouettes a little bit better against the lighter area of the sky. A few little things growing on it. And do I need one more? I don't know why, they always seem to work better in odd numbers. I heard someone say that once. So I'm going to stick one more. I'm just going to fill this gap in here, I think. I'm only going to do it, I should have done this first because this is actually meant to be behind it. So actually I'm going to do it in front of it. Put the reflection down. And that's going to need, I'm going to put some darker ones on this tree. A bit of Payne's grey on there as well. Is that too dark? Possibly too dark, I think. Oh, let's stick some darker ones everywhere. Is that better or worse? I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Right, there's a bit of land on this right hand side, so I'm just going to clean the brush back into some raw sienna, a bit of lemon yellow as well, touch of ultramarine, and this is going to just work its way down from there. A bit of Payne's grey into it. Clean the brush. I want to get back to a lighter colour, so clean the brush back into the yellow, raw sienna. And I'm just going to sweep that round a little bit. Bit of ultramarine. Right, I think I need to get a bit more sort of depth into this sort of middle ground area here. I think what I'm going to do is just squeeze out some lemon yellow from the straight out the tube. Let's just go a bit of light red. I'm just going to mix a bit of that lemon yellow in there as well. I'm going to bring this landmass down actually. Just bring it down, right down into this foreground area. Just sweep it across there. Get a few little darker tones amongst it all. I think where I'm struggling, it's getting the chisel, it's gone now, it's completely, chisel edge gone in this brush. I'm going to have to use the flat brush just to get some sharp edges, I think. And then I'm going to have to start using my new brush, I think. I'm just getting a bit of brown, a bit of blue. Just want to sort of get a few sharp edges down there. Back into that ultramarine. Just trying to define where the water and the land meet. Just can't get it with the height brush. I have to get my new one out the packet, I think. A few little darker tones here and there. Into that ultramarine. Maybe just flick a few up there, just make it look like bits of things growing. Down here as well. Reeds and grasses and things growing just in the water's edge. What I might do amongst those darks, and if I just a few more little darks, I might scrape a little bit of a few stones and things amongst them, just to add a bit of sort of texture. A few little colours down there. See what that looks like. Just dab straight into that lemon yellow. Pop a few in the dark areas. It's just switched to me switched to a little card here. Let's just pop a few little things. Some corners work better than others, that's why I tend to see which corners I'm using. It's just let's add a little bit more texture to it. Now what I might do is just clean this brush, squeeze the water out of it. Take the excess out on the tea towel. Just let's get as close as sharp edge as I can, and then just try and create a few little ripples and things on the water. I'm just disturbing the paint just slightly to make it look like ripples. Don't want to disturb it too much, but just enough to make it just a little bit more interesting. Maybe go over a few of these rocks if I've done too many as well. Straighten that up again. Right. I think I just need to make these a little bit darker. So if I just go back to the rigger brush, bit of brown, bit of blue, quite a dark mix. I'm just gonna go over the top. I can't even remember what I've done now. I've lost the track. Which tree's in front of which? Might have to redo some of this foliage as well. Let's make that a little bit. Again, just keep reloading the brush. Brown, blue. Let's darken that one as well. I'm just sort of wiggling the brush as I lift it up. I think already I think it looks better with it darker like this. I think it gets more of a sort of silhouette look. Let's get a few more darker bits up here, I think, and I'll have to redo some of that foliage again. So if I switch now to the height brush, you squeeze that water out, and then so I'm just going to go into a bit of ultramarine, a bit of Payne's grey, and I'm just going to do a quick dab into that lemon yellow. Let's see what we got on here. A bit more Payne's grey, I think. There we go. Let's just need a few darker areas down here, I think. Little shadowy bits. I think I'm just going to finish this one off with a little man and his dog, I think. So I'm just going to, where shall I pop him? Where should we actually just, should we go with a couple? Maybe. Just the other side of the trees. And then there's someone else just with them. Just someone admiring the view, just the other side there. Switch to the tiny little rigger brush. I'm going to stick a little bird just flying through there, then another one. And then another one there, I think. I think I'm going to call that one done. Back to the rigger. I'm just going to stick my name down there, I think, and call that one finished. So let's stick a mount on it and see what it looks like. So there's a finished painting, the mounts. So if we go and have a closer look, started with the sky. Various mixes. You've got ultramarine, I think it was Payne's grey, a bit of alizarin crimson in there as well, touch of raw sienna. A lot of white cloud. The white cloud, so you see, especially here along here, I've tried to make the most of that light, silhouetting the tree trunks against that light behind it, give that impression of light coming right through to the foreground. So I put lots of shadows. I'm not sure if I've made it a little bit too dark maybe in the foreground, I'm not too sure about that. Just broke up some of those darks, a little bit of scraping of the card there to create a few rocks, a few more here, coming through right into the foreground, a few dollops of neat yellow I've put in there as well. I think the trees had one or two changes as they went through the paint. It ended up with more sort of predominantly green. They were originally sort of raw sienna, light red sort of colour. But with the help of some neat lemon yellow, I managed to get some bit of foliage in there. Just flicked up with a little flat brush here and there as well, give the impression of little grasses and reeds growing here amongst the water, right along the edge. And then see a little couple there, just other side of the trees, admiring the view. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoy that. Thanks as always for watching, for your support. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So until next time, keep practicing. Remember all the books on Amazon if you want to take a look at those, and I'll see you again soon.